Hey guys, so I have a few dreams I had last night, and I'm just going to share one with you. And then after that, I have a message to share that the Lord wanted me to make a video about. Me and the hubby and the kids. Say hi, Lucius.
Hi.
Say hi, Kateri. We're on our way to a wedding right now, but I really need to get this video out. So the dream I had last night, I was in a barn with a bunch of people. Again, another barn dream. And there was a bunch of people from our church in the dream, and then a whole bunch of random people. I mean, like, it was loaded. There were so many people in this barn. And there were all these different animals in these stalls. And I was running around being a goof, because this is a side of me that you guys don't see often. I am a big goofball. And I was running around being a goof, and some people appreciated it, some didn't. That's okay. And I had meat that I was throwing out to the animals, but the animals wouldn't eat the meat. And that is basically the gist of my dream. So I woke up and I was talking about it with my husband, and one thing that I discovered while I was sharing it, because the Lord will often help me discover things while I'm speaking them, was that, so the barn thing, we've all talked about this before. The barn kind of represents us all gathering together, waiting for the Lord's return. Also in the Bible, it speaks about the separation of wheat from tares and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too far into it just because I don't have time. But when I was throwing the meat to the animals, they were not eating it. And what I realized when I was sharing this dream was that there's a lot of meaty goodness that the Lord has been sharing with me, that I share with people, and not, and it's not all necessarily you guys through my ministry, but I try to share with people, around me in my life, friends. I stopped going on Facebook because I felt called away, but I think that could have had a lot to do with it. Just, people who are still in the, the baby food stage or the milk stage and haven't reached baby food yet, or haven't reached the soft food yet, and I'm just tossing all this meat to the animals, which I don't think in my dream the animals necessarily represented animals. I believe they represented people who were, what is a good way to put this? I guess you could say animalistic. I mean, not filled with the Lord, not filled with life, just kind of living like humans in the flesh, and just did not want anything to do with this meat that I was throwing at them. So I think that represented that, along with us all gathering together and waiting for the Lord. And so that's the dream I had. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments on that, as always. And a message that I woke up with this morning. I woke up this morning and I was praying, talking with the Lord, and we were going back and forth about mercy and about us, when we're Christians, there's a certain expectation of us, and that is to be Christians, Christ followers, and to follow the path that Jesus has laid out for us. Now, if we're in the Word every day and we're building that intimate relationship with the Lord, then we are being guided constantly, and we are consistently growing, reassuring ourselves, reminding ourselves, learning about Jesus's path and what we need to do as Christians and in our walk with Him. And that being said, we are called to be merciful, to, show grace, because Abba sheds His abundant mercy and grace upon us. And one story that the Lord brought to my mind this morning was, and I'm sorry I don't have prepared the verses, I'm sure one of you will find it and share in the comments, the story of the wretched servant who owed a very high debt, and he went to the king and he asked the king to forgive him, and to cover his debt so that he would not be thrown in prison. And the king had pity on him, covered his debt, and said, "You may go." And so the servant went out, and he ran into a man who owed him money. And he started freaking out at the guy, telling him, "I want my money back." And it just gets worse from there. So word gets back to the king. The king is livid because he had mercy on this servant, and the servant did not have mercy on the man who owed him money. And so the king said, "You wicked servant," and tossed him in prison and had him tortured. And this is a parable that the Lord shared. It's a great example of how we should be in our Christian walk and what will happen to those who are not filling themselves with the Lord, who are not walking and being light, who are not actively practicing and seeking the path of following Christ, which is not just saying, "I believe in you," and that's that, but walking it, walking that path, showing with our actions, with our fruits, that we are Christ believers and Christ followers. So this is just a reminder to shed mercy, to shed grace, because you don't want to be that wretched servant where the Lord says, "Look at all that I gave you, and what did you do for others?" You don't want to be that wretched servant. So it's just a reminder. I'm sorry I don't have the verses ready right now. I didn't prepare very well, but whoever does or can look it up, just throw in the comments for everyone to see. And that's all I got. Love you guys. God bless. Bye.